What is going on? And welcome back to another episode of iCoach Nutrition Radio. Today's topic that we're going to be diving into is how eating healthy is actually less expensive than eating unhealthy food, right? And you're probably thinking to yourself, you're like, I don't know about that. I can go hit up the gas station or go get fast food or whatever. And that's always going to be cheaper than me going to the grocery store or eating at these healthy restaurants, right? So maybe, right? Maybe in the short term, right? Because it all comes down to like choosing your hard, right? You probably heard that statement before, right? You got to choose your hard. You want your hard to be hard now, right? Or do you want your hard to be hard later? And what I mean by that, and what I mean by the fact that eating healthy is actually less expensive than eating unhealthy is because if you eat unhealthy, right? And you do that throughout your lifetime, well, then you are almost guaranteed, right, to spend way more money than somebody that eats healthy through their lifetime on medical bills, on medication, on surgeries, right? Your risk of having all of these different health issues later in life goes up significantly when you're not prioritizing living a healthy lifestyle. And so for so many of you that are listening to this podcast, whether you're young or whether you're older, right? At some point in your life, if you haven't already realized it by now, you're going to realize that your health is your greatest asset. And you see this all of the time, right? You see this all the time with so many individuals that maybe they become successful in their career, right? They make tons and tons and tons of money, but they just let their body go, right? They just gain tons of weight. They let themselves go. They let themselves get obese, right? And now later on, now they're having to pay for it, right? Maybe that's just in the superficial form of having to hire a personal trainer or hire a nutritionist, or maybe it's more serious, right? Maybe they've had a heart attack. Maybe they've gotten diagnosed with a certain medical condition, right? But ultimately what ends up happening is you're going to spend more and more and more money later on in life if you don't prioritize living a healthy lifestyle now, right? I give this example to my wife all the time. Shout out, she's listening to this. She's gonna be laughing here. But she hates the dentist, right? She hates the dentist. She hates going to the dentist. In fact, I think it's been like a year or a couple years since she had gone to the dentist before this last time, where I actually literally booked her the appointment and said, "Look, I'm watching the kids. You're going. I don't care what you say." And it's one of these situations where it's like, look, I don't want to be paying for all of your dental bills later in life as your teeth get worse and worse and worse and worse, right? Like, it's great that you brush your teeth and floss every once in a while or whatever, right? But the reality of it is like you need to be going twice a year to get your teeth cleaned, right? And getting these deep cleanings, right? And getting your teeth checked up on, right? And no different than going to the doctor, right? There's so many of you that are listening to this right now that haven't been to the doctor in years, right? You haven't gotten a physical in years. You haven't gotten blood work in years, right? And I'll tell you this, after working with thousands of clients over the last almost 13 years now, you are not invincible, right? And your health is your greatest asset, whether you realize it or not. And if you're not prioritizing living a healthy lifestyle, meaning that if you're not prioritizing getting an adequate amount of sleep the majority of the time, you're not prioritizing your nutrition the majority of the time, you're not prioritizing exercise, being active the majority of the time, you're not prioritizing hydration, you're consuming way too much alcohol and caffeine, right? If you're not prioritizing stress management, you're stressed out beyond belief, right? It's just a matter of time. I mean, it's a ticking bomb before you start to, maybe you start to feel bad, maybe you start to look bad, maybe you start to perform bad, right? Or maybe you get diagnosed with something worse, God forbid. It's inevitable. It's an inevitable process that things like getting diagnosed with a certain disease or certain medical condition is going to happen later in life if you don't prioritize your health now. And you only have one body, you have one life, you have one opportunity, right? And you're either making the most out of it and really, trying to reach your God-given potential in life and working towards becoming the best version of you, or you're taking your life for granted, right? Because you're either progressing forward or you're going backwards. There's no such thing as maintaining. And so when I make the comment here of eating healthy actually is less expensive than eating healthy food, right? Or I'm sorry, than eating unhealthy food, then it really just is a tagline here to really hone in on the point as to like, you can either pay for it now, you can either spend money on it now, you can either spend the money on, living a healthy lifestyle now, which by the way is not that much more money than what you're already spending living an unhealthy lifestyle. In fact, in a lot of situations, people are spending more money on living an unhealthy lifestyle than they are on a healthy lifestyle. But if you don't prioritize living a healthy lifestyle now, right, well, eventually it does catch up with you, right? And it's inevitable, right? You're a ticking bomb, right? It's day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. I cannot tell you how many clients that have come to me after getting diagnosed with XYZ disease, right? They go to their doctor and their doctor's like, yeah, all that alcohol you've been consuming, has finally caused fatty liver disease, right? Or you're having your liver literally shut down on you, right? Or kidneys are following along with it, or gallbladder, or now you're diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, or now you have thyroid issues, or now you're diagnosed with cancer, or keep going down the list, right? There are so many different things that can happen, right? And there's also some of these things that do happen to healthy individuals as well, right? I don't want to negate that fact, right? But the reality of it is I want to make sure that I am controlling the controllables, right? There are some things in my life that I have control over, AKA living a healthy lifestyle and prioritizing these healthy lifestyle habits. And there's some things that I don't have control over. I could live the healthiest lifestyle that I've ever lived in my life, and then one day get diagnosed with cancer or get ran over by a car or whatever, right? But I want to make sure that as I lay my head down at night every night, what allows me to go to sleep at night is me knowing that I am prioritizing living a healthy lifestyle, right? Because it's a big deal to me. It's a priority to me. It's become something that I value. It's become a core value, right? For me and for my family, right? It's something that I want to instill into my kids, right? Because I know what it can do, right? I know what living a healthy lifestyle can do for every other aspect of my life, right? It makes me feel better so that I have more energy and more productivity so that I can be more successful in my career and as a dad and as a husband, right? It makes me look better so that I have the confidence to be able to do anything and everything that I want to do and accomplish in life. It makes me perform better in everything from what I'm doing in the gym to what I'm doing in my career. What am I doing in life? Right? And it's ultimately setting myself up to be as successful as I possibly can be. It's setting me up to be able to, again, every single day, one day at a time, get 1% better every single day and keep working towards my God-given potential in life, right? God didn't put me on this earth to just sit here and, sit around and, eat like crap and never work out and drink all the time and, treat my family like crap and, not try to help people in this world and not try to, create an impact in this world and leave a legacy behind. God didn't put me on this earth to do that. God didn't put me on this earth to waste my life. Right? And if you're listening to this right now or watching this, he didn't do that for you either. Right? He put you on this earth for a reason. Everybody that is on this earth, every single person that was put on this earth has a reason that they're here. Maybe you figured it out by now, maybe you haven't. There was a time in my life where I didn't know what it was, and I haven't figured it out either. Right? But if you don't get your mind right, if you don't get clear-minded, then you're never going to be able to figure that thing out. You're never going to be able to figure out what that purpose of your life is. And when you ask yourself the question, God, why am I here? What is my purpose? Why did you put me on this earth? Right? You have to be clear-minded to be able to start to have those realizations and to have those truths spoken to you. Right? I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to help people. Maybe it's helping people through nutrition and training and helping them to live a healthy lifestyle, right? Or maybe that'll evolve into other things. I don't know. I just know that what fulfills me, other than being a great husband and being a great dad, the things that fulfill me, the things that fill me up, that fill up my cup, that make me excited when I wake up every single day and what give me purpose, right, is helping people to have this realization, right? And helping people to make this a priority in their life. And realizing that this doesn't have to be like an all or nothing mentality, right? Getting people to understand that living a healthy lifestyle is worth it. And if you can prioritize living a healthy lifestyle, it will transfer over into every other aspect of your life. One of the most successful client transformations that I've ever had that I love sharing is with a girl that I worked with, a woman that I worked with who, when she first started working with me, she was 50 pounds overweight. She was working a job that was completely overworking her, not prioritizing her, paying her very little money. And through the process of losing 50 pounds, right, she was not confident, right, but going through the process of losing 50 pounds, right, that gave her a whole new level of confidence, right? And through that confidence and many other reasons as well, it wasn't just because she lost 50 pounds, but that was the start. That was one of the biggest reasons. She lost 50 pounds. She got stronger in the gym, right? And as she started to gain that confidence, as she started to get stronger, that transferred over into every other aspect of her life. Financially, she went from making $30,000 a year to $300,000 a year, and now she'll get close to $1 million this year. Can you imagine going from making 30 grand a year and being 50 pounds overweight to losing the weight, to getting stronger, to building the self-confidence that then transfers out into the rest of your life and allows you to then go from $30,000 a year to $300,000 a year to $900,000 a year, all within 3 years? I mean, mind blown, right? So let that be encouraging. Let that be motivating to you. And that when I come back to this very general tagline here, this title of this podcast, right? How eating healthy can actually or is actually less expensive than eating unhealthy. Hopefully you get the point, right, of what this podcast is all about, which is hopefully inspiring you, encouraging you, motivating you to prioritize living a healthy lifestyle. Because ultimately you have to choose your hard. Is living a healthy lifestyle hard? Hell yeah, absolutely. But you know what's even harder? Not aging with dignity, not being able to get off the toilet by yourself when you're 80 years old, falling and having a hip fracture, right? Having to get back surgery, right? Dealing with all of these different medical issues and complications that come later in life for people that treated their body like a garbage can. All right, so you have one life to live, right? You were given this opportunity. Your health is your greatest asset, whether you realize it or not. And it's up to you to make the most out of your life. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. And hopefully, like I said, this inspires you, encourages you, motivates you to take action on making the most out of the one life that you have, the one opportunity that you have at making the best life, to live your best life, right? Because this is a generational thing. If you don't do it, right, and if you don't inspire and educate and motivate your kids to do it, then they're just going to repeat the same exact process, right? It's going to be a generational thing. If your parents didn't prioritize it and you don't break the curse, well, your kids are going to do it too. So if nothing else, hopefully that can be inspiration to you. All right, guys, love you, appreciate you. And I hope that you realize what this one opportunity means and how important living a healthy lifestyle actually is. And I hope that will motivate you and educate you and inspire you to go out there and make it a priority to, truly enable you to be able to live your best life. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.